Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Chris and Scott's Music Spot. I'm Chris,
And I'm Scott.
and today we're going to be talking about an amazingly controversial list we found on who did this one? I don't know.
That I don't know. I didn't keep that information.
Something named Carrie. Carrie Cooks. Carrie Cooks. So yell at her, not us.
She
Anyway,
sounds like an expert.
first off, how you been, Scott? You been good?
I've been hanging in there, man.
Excellent.
Doing the thing, going through a little pain issues with my back, but that's nothing new.
Yep. Whenever there's a
How about
long,
yourself?
I've been me. Been also
How,
dealing with
how
some issues, neck, back, stuff like my neck and my back, stuff like that.
Because we're old, man.
We are old, but anytime there's a
How's
lapse,
your? Go ahead.
anytime there's a lapse in stuff coming up for a couple weeks, it's because we're old and we hurt. We rocked too hard when we were younger.
Yes. Otherwise,
Right.
we'd be putting out 2 videos every day, but
Damn right.
tain't like that anymore.
No, sir.
Even
All
doing
right.
videos hurts nowadays.
Everything hurts. All right. So
All
this
right.
list we found: top 10 overrated musicians by
I have been
Carrie Cooks.
so
Corey.
looking
Corey
forward to
Cooks.
this.
Yeah, me too.
Corey Cooks.
Corey Cooks.
Okay.
Sorry, it was not Carrie. So any Carrie Cooks that get ridiculed, sorry about that. So let's just kick it off. Number 10 on the list, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and people are saying that not because the band's not talented, but because they say they just keep putting out music for money and they found their formula and don't ever change it anymore. What are your thoughts on that, Mr. Scott?
Well, all right. So me and the Chili Peppers go way back. I mean,
Yes.
way back. Dobbins was putting what's the one? Freaky Styley. It's like
Freaky
or
Style. Yeah.
the uplift mojo party plan. Remember that one? That's another
That's
one.
way back, man. Yeah.
Right. So I remember these guys then, but then when they put out Blood Sugar Sex Magic,
Love it.
then it was like, oh, I fucking love these guys. They are badass. They're the shit. So, and fast forward to today, um, I get it that people might say that they're kind of recycling past stuff.
Yeah.
To me, they're gonna sound that way because that's their band. It's like a punk funk band,
Yes.
kind of,
It is.
But
You are
they
correct.
all the musicians bring their own thing to the game, and that's why it sounds they're not gonna sound a whole lot different album to album. And why would you? Where are you gonna go from there
Yeah.
with that band? And to me, the only thing I would say ever would be overrated about it at all, if you could even say that, would be Anthony Kiedis, the vocals.
Oh, absolutely. He's overrated.
Because he's a rapper. He's not a singer. He's not a good singer. He
No.
fits what they do
Yeah,
perfectly.
he fits what they do. He's not a singer. I mean,
No,
I guess
he's
technically he is, but he's
classically
not good.
not classically trained, or I mean, he's got a little bit of a range, but you know, I don't know. It's not. He's not the talent in the band.
Oh no. To
His
me,
milkshake doesn't bring the boys to the yard.
to
It's
me,
Flea and Chad
back in high
to
school
me.
when um, Mother's Milk came out, that's when they came on my radar
Yes.
with Higher
Yes.
Ground because I love that cover. It's awesome.
Yep. Same.
And then
Now, Higher Ground is a cover of a Stevie Wonder
yes,
song.
Stevie Wonder song for those that didn't know. That's off Songs of the Key of Life, right?
I have no idea, but I
I think so.
would say probably you're right.
Feel free to tell me I'm wrong. And then Blood Sugar came out. Oh my god, dude, that blew me away. That's one of my
Jesus.
all-time favorite albums.
Aha, me too. and probably for different reasons.
I
But go
don't think
ahead.
there's a bad song on it, and it's just every song is like, except for Under the Bridge, because that's good, but it's just
That's
overplayed.
a great song, man.
I
It
mean,
took
it's
me
just
a long
overplayed.
time to appreciate. Yeah, yes. But if you step back, I mean, I avoided that song for
Yeah,
the longest time, and it was because back in those days, people
yeah,
had radios on and shit, and the radio always played that song.
it did. That's the
And it
only
was
song
like
it played.
every 10th song was that song.
But God,
So
every
after a
song on that
while,
album is so good.
yes, I agree. Um,
Blood Sugar
for
Sex
me,
Magic, the song, amazing.
it's the musicianship. Oh, and here's another thing: who produced it?
It's a good question.
You know who it is.
Was it Rick
You just
Rubin?
don't realize. Fuck yeah.
Of course it was. Rick Rubin. Has
Yup.
he ever produced a shitty album?
I would say he's produced albums that no one's ever heard of,
Well, yeah.
but I don't know if they're shitty. But mostly everything he touches goes platinum or double,
Yeah.
whatever.
So
Um,
after Blood Sugar, and they got Frascanti left, and then they got Navarro. I would say they lost all of their mojo because One Hot Minute had like 2 good songs on it, maybe, and after that,
mm,
to me, I don't know. After that, I just haven't. I don't
there's
know how
some
they're
really
ever going to be able to get up there with Blood Sugar again.
exactly. Well, they'd have to go. They'd have to allow themselves to be who they are today and go get Rick Rubin and see what they could create today. Because
Yeah,
it would be different than it was, 30 years ago, whatever,
it would.
you know.
To me, yeah.
Um,
So I would say up to there. No, after that, kind of.
I mean, what? There's like Californication and
I don't like
Can't
it.
Stop and what are all these?
It
There's
just
cool tunes in there, but they're not. It's
sounds
not.
too formulated to me.
Eh,
After that,
that's
I
kind of
mean,
it's tough
the
to avoid,
the One Hot
really,
Minute
when you're.
thing, it didn't sound formulated. Just that Dave Navarro didn't fit with the band because he's not a funk guy at all.
It was a weird combo. It was like well, it's exactly what they did was they took a funk ass guitar player out and put a heavy metal guitar player in there who
Yeah,
tried to funk ass his stuff. He's not John Frusciante at
no.
all. I mean, he just doesn't. So to me, and I know you agree, the lineup with Frusciante is the
Oh yeah,
by far the best Chili Peppers lineup.
oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, come on, Chad Smith and Flea together.
You can't. I mean, who would ever say I'd rather have a different drummer or I'd rather have a
No way.
different bass player? No, those guys seemed like they were destined to play together
Yeah,
because they're not even like salt and pepper. They're like combined. They're
yeah.
one thing, which is what really makes them.
All right,
And
so
then, yeah, I
I'm
guess we could
I'm
we could
thinking
move on. But
you don't think they're overrated, and I'm like 50-50. Like half their career's not, and then the other half is. For me.
yeah, well, and there's another band on here that'll be fun
Oh
to
my
talk
god,
about.
there's gonna be all of them are gonna be fun.
I know exactly. And we can come back too. I'm sure I'll
Oh,
have more
absolutely.
thoughts on this. But yeah, let's move on to the next one.
At the big number 9, Metallica.
This is
They
That's a
were
good one.
awesome until they sold out with Inner Sandman. And another person says they obviously are super influential and have some great songs, but if you've heard one, you've heard them all.
Oh, yeah. Who's that person, and
I don't know, their name's not on here.
what what do they know? Yeah, who would put their name on something like that?
Now,
Uh,
I don't like
no.
no, anything from after the Black Album up to what was that something Something self-destruct or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Is that the newest one?
No, the newest one's 72 seasons.
Okay.
What's the one
And
before
we already
that?
talked a bit.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that again, but we already
No.
touched on that before.
All that stuff in between there, not a fan of.
I agree.
Even James Hetfield's not a fan of it. He said he
I
didn't
don't
like
blame
the
him.
loads.
The load and reload.
Load,
Fuck,
reload,
I can't handle any of the shit that's on there because it's
Saint
all
Anger.
bullshit. It's not Metallica. It doesn't sound like it's just not Metallica. They went a really weird direction.
They had Load, Reload, Saint Anger, Death Magnetic.
Yeah, they all suck. It all sucks.
Some of the stuff on Death Magnetic's not horrible that I've heard.
Some of the music, but again, to me, that didn't fit together either.
There might have been another Garage Days they did or something in there too, but I don't remember that.
I know there's one called Garage Days Revisited, but I have no idea what's on it.
I don't know.
I don't think it's anything new.
Or
it had like whiskey in a jar or whatever that horrible. No,
not a fan of those. But up to past the Black Album, I like the Black Album. A lot of people don't like it.
That was again one of those things that I had to adjust to. I totally like it now.
It's a great album.
But when it came out, I was pissed.
Oh yeah. Everybody like Metallica was.
Yeah, I was thinking, shit, they just put out And Justice for All, and now you're going to put this shit out? And it was like a sellout right there. But then if you go back and listen to it, really it's the production is different because it was Bob Rock.
Bob Rock, yeah, right? Bon Jovi guy.
Exactly. And he totally softened them up for mainstream.
Well, I mean,
there's some shit on that, like Sad But True. That's fucking awesome.
That song's amazingly awesome.
And I like even Enter Sandman. You know, it's another one of those. Wherever I was back in the day, the radio came on. Enter Sandman was on there, right next to Under the Bridge by the Chili Pepper.
Yeah.
And
God, that intro, man, with this. If you have a decent system somewhere, check out that intro because those toms that Lars is playing sound like goddamn cannons, man.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, they're I would say there's nothing underrated.
No.
About Metallica.
They were hugely influential with so many people. That's something about the Chili Peppers. I never hear anybody say that they were really influenced by the band. Now, I've heard people say they're influenced by Flea.
Right.
But never, the Chili Peppers are an influence to me. I've never heard anybody say, I'm sure there's people out there, so feel free to correct.
Well, there can really only be one Chili Peppers, too.
Yeah.
I mean, people who try to copy it are going to be called out.
Well, not even really
on copying.
Just, have an influence like Metallica. They influence so many bands.
For sure. They're like the Beatles of heavier music.
Yeah, it's well, that guy's wrong. All their stuff doesn't sound the same. So that guy's a jackwagon.
Well, so now if we magically had Dave Mustaine on the show, you would say,
"Oh my God,
they got rich off of all my songs." I showed James how to play guitar, and that's the only reason he knows how. He's just so funny. But no, to me, I strongly disagree.
Yes,
Metallica shouldn't even be anywhere near this list.
Even though they put out all that crap after the Black Album.
Yeah,
I still don't think that they belong on this list.
And I don't think they put all that crap out for the fans anyway.
I think they did it because they wanted to.
Exactly.
Well,
and when you're
except for Hetfield, he didn't want to do those first two.
They were doing band therapy and all that shit. So
watch Some Kind of Monster. You'll understand it then.
Yeah, they needed the therapy.
Yes.
All right, next. Let's roll.
All right, number 8. Coming in at number 8, AC/DC.
Uh-huh.
They say it's glorified as heavy metal hardcore. when they're just hard rock.
Huh?
And the misunderstanding of the genre of them irritates metal fans, so they just listen to them out of frustration. Now, last episode, I talked a little bit about how AC/DC all sounds the same, but it's awesome. To me, it all sounds the same song, but it's awesome.
You can tell who it is. They sound like AC/DC. They're not ripping anybody off.
No,
they didn't go and fucking copy somebody and say, now this is our sound. You know, they just sound like that. It's like the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
They're a band that kind of stands on their own. They are what they are. They're not going to be shredding scales and shit.
No.
It's party music, dude.
They have a great
just like the Chili
player.
Peppers. It's party music.
They have a great guitar player. Malcolm Young was a great rhythm player.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But just
that makes it. So that's what the band is, really.
Something that was always lost on me as a youngster when I started falling in love with music was just that. It doesn't have to be shreddy, and like the guy doesn't have to. I mean, I hear so much music that I'm like, you know, if they weren't just themselves when they played that, they wouldn't, for one, be happy with what came out. And, you know, it's just the guys in the band brought what they brought. And they, you know, had fun making music with the limitations they put on themselves, really. But it's them.
Oh, go ahead.
Please, go ahead.
I would like to amend what I said last time. That all their songs don't sound. Most of them sound the same. Not all. Because if you go back in the day, like the Jack, that doesn't. It sounds like AC/DC, but it doesn't sound like all their other songs. So they got songs like that.
Yes.
And they have some turds, but most of them are good. And even though they sound the same, they're just awesome. It's just it works. Their songs sounding the same works for them.
It works for everybody who likes them, because the only reason you're not gonna like them is because
you're wrong.
You just don't like their sound or something, you know?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think I've ever met anybody that says I don't like AC/DC.
Nah. Sometimes you'll hear, you know, musician types say shit, and I've said shit like, AC/DC sucks, but they don't suck. I mean,
they don't suck.
Angus Young is a damn good guitar player.
Yeah,
he's a damn good guitar player.
He's like a zombie now. He's so old and he can still tear it up.
Yes. This little schoolgirl outfit.
Do you still wear that stupid thing?
I have no idea, but you can't really say anything bad about them. They did their thing. They
like
never.
Metallica. They're hugely influential to people. So
yes.
I mean,
they don't sound like anybody but them.
Yeah, and they influence so many bands out there.
Right. There might be bands out there that sound like them, but they don't sound like any other band. No way, no how.
That's why.
So no, they're not.
I would say no, they're not overrated.
They are not overrated.
Check. We're agreeing on stuff. What the heck?
Crazy. It's early yet.
I know we're not going to. Coming in at number 7, we're going to skip out of the rock area and go straight to Mariah Carey. What do they say about this one? They say her, really they only talk about that Christmas song on this one.
Which is nothing. It's like
and that she puts out boring songs.
Well, I mean, I don't even know if she writes her own songs or if she has people write them for her.
I don't know. But I know her first album, Vision of Love, when that came out, I think that was the name of it. Dude.
How do you know the name of that?
I know a lot of stuff.
Were you into that? Was that your thing?
You know.
Kind of. You were little. You didn't know any better.
Well, I was in like 13 or 14. No, I was not a fan of the music, but I knew she could sing like a motherfucker.
Yes. And she still can, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Even if she's terrible now, she can't be bad because she was amazing.
No, she's
I
all
mean,
deep and
truly
out and
amazing.
stuff. Yeah, I mean,
It's all she's an image now. It's
there's
not
like,
about music. It's
what is
about
there, like
image.
4 singers that could beat her in octaves, something like that, her vocal range?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember hearing all kinds of shit about that. She had
There's,
the one of the biggest vocal ranges out there.
she has a huge vocal range. I used to remember what it was. It's like 6 or 7 octaves, something like that.
Exactly, which
But
is ridiculous.
I know that there's 2 that beat her. That's all I could think of off
Okay,
my head.
and I don't even know who that would be.
You're gonna be surprised by one of them.
Okay,
One of them's Mike Patton.
I was gonna say Axel.
Axel, yes, Axel is the other
He's
one.
the other one, huh? Man, I'm a pretty smart guy.
Look at you. That one surprised me. I didn't think that he actually had the biggest range last time they did something about it.
Really?
Yeah,
It's that because he can do the really high falsetto.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
Anyway,
yeah,
back to we're getting on a tangent here.
overrated. Was
Okay.
was Mariah overrated?
Um, that's tough because she can sing, but was her content really worthy
Any
of her
good?
voice?
Right. Well,
Like,
and did she write her own stuff?
that's a good
That's
question.
gonna chew me up. I'll find out, but
I personally am going to say her singing, no, not overrated. Her songs,
she's an excellent
100%
singer.
overrated.
I agree. I agree. And that would go especially if she, let's see, especially if she didn't write her own music. I mean, because to me, being a musician isn't singing. Like, I'm not saying anybody can sing.
Yeah,
You know, she can sing, she can hit notes. But there's more to the story than just that,
yeah.
in my eyes. So I would agree. Yeah, she, like, to me, even her songs, of course, I've been around her whole life. I don't, I can't hear a Mariah Carey song in my head right
You
now.
can hear that Christmas song.
But I can't.
Really?
Somehow, for some reason, yeah, no, I can't.
Don't worry. In about a month, you will.
Yeah, I know.
God, I hate that song.
Oh, that's too much.
So, all right, we're agreeing on a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, we are. Oh, this is it's pretty.
So,
This is a weird list.
I think
The
we're going to
people
start
on this list
disagreeing
are
on
wacky.
stuff soon, I think.
All right. Well, you never know.
Never know.
We've surprised already.
We
So.
have.
I'm
Number
getting
6.
situated.
Please situate yourself, sir.
Situate.
So coming in at number 6, we're back in the rock realm with U2. I'm torn with them. People think they're a pop rock band, and definitely their new music is overrated, and that's basically it. That album they put out that automatically went to everybody that had Apple, people really didn't like that.
Oh God, I hated that. I got a phone and it had that shit on it, and you couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't let you delete it. And it took up a bunch of space on your phone, and it was an Apple, so you couldn't expand the space. That thing pissed me off. I remember that.
It was in my iTunes one day, and I was like, the hell is this? I don't want this stupid
album.
Yeah.
It's like waking up one day and going into the kitchen and flipping the light on and seeing a fucking roach crawl across the cabinet.
Absolutely. So what are your thoughts about the U2? I've started the last 2. Let's let you go here.
Okay. So I have a pretty good long history with U2.
Yes.
I actually remember one memory I have was when I was in, I want to say it was 7th grade. So I don't know how old you are then, like 13, maybe 12? 13.
Probably 12 or 13.
So when I was living in Hilton Head, they were building a new high school, and we had recess outside. They were building the school right next to our school, and they were burning debris all year long. We
Awesome.
would go out to recess, and there's this big haze of smoke over our recess
Haze
area.
of death
And they
smoke.
Yes. So I developed some kind of like crazy asthma. Where I'd take 2 steps and be out of breath and couldn't breathe and shit.
God
So
damn.
my parents were taking me to Savannah to some medical center there to do tests and shit. So I remember getting Under a Blood Red Sky by U2, which is their first live album, and I had just gotten it. I remember riding home from Savannah in the car, and I had my Walkman on, and I had Under a Blood Red Sky in there. And I was thinking, like, it doesn't sound like this guitar player is doing anything crazy, but I love the sound.
Oh yeah, so do I.
Like his chimey harmonics and shit. I love that, dude. And so to me, um, Under a Blood Red Sky, which I think came out in 82 or 83, that was like the pinnacle of U2 because there was no
Okay.
huge light show, no video show. It was the band at Red Rocks in Colorado, and the sound quality was amazing. And they did a whole album. I think it's like 8 songs or 9 songs, and they're all live and they sound amazing. And
Yeah.
I loved that and I loved them. But then the very next album that came out, I think it was Joshua Tree or Unforgettable Fire, I think it was. And it had that song Pride in the Name of Love or whatever. In the
Yeah, I
name
know the song.
of love.
I don't. I thought.
So
I don't remember that. I thought it was on
I
Joshua Tree or
I
War.
think
Or maybe not.
War is before
Yeah,
Under Blood Red,
that's right.
so that's
Yeah,
like
that's right.
Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Excellent song.
Uh, oh yeah, and it's on Under a Blood Red Sky. So
Yeah.
that's the version that I. It's like their albums, but better because it's
Yeah.
live and they were damn good live.
Oh yeah.
Then they start putting out this other stuff that like in the name of love or whatever. I was like, this is okay, but it's going in a bad direction. And I was right. And ever since then, I, I stopped buying their albums. Then I actually went and saw them
Did you?
probably 92.
On
But
that.
the only
What was that?
reason I went was because Primus opened for them.
Primus.
Can you imagine what kind of Primus, poor Primus, man. And I was like, man, no, let them play. Like they cut their set short because this was at RFK in DC
Yeah.
on a summer night. And it was like the Zootopia tour.
That's what I was trying to
And it
think of the
was
name of the tour. I
fucking
couldn't think of it.
terrible, terrible. It was horrible. It was just, and after that, I was like, these guys fucking suck. I don't like them anymore. I'll listen to Under a Blood Red Sky or anything before that. And that goes way back, like
To me, they're kind of
early
like my assessment on Red Hot Chili Peppers. I hear people say they're influenced by the Edge.
yes,
I
but
don't hear
not
people
the
say
band
the
YouTube.
band.
I agree. I agree.
I
You're
mean,
right. Good
yeah.
observation.
I don't think
Are
that.
we gonna
Hmm? What's that?
are we are we ever gonna disagree on anything?
Oh, we'll agree. Yes, I guarantee we're going to.
All right, let's hit it. What's the next one?
All right, where are we? Was that number
Ooh, this is
6?
good.
Number 5, Bruce Springsteen. Um,
You go first.
People
I'd
say
like to
they
hear what you got.
change the radio stations when Springsteen plays, and his lyrics are ludicrous. That's what the article says here.
Well,
Bruce Springsteen. Great songwriter. Don't like his music so much. All of it. I like some of it, not a lot of it. Do I think he's overrated? I think he's a touch overrated. I'll say it.
Now, is that as an artist or as
Not as a
singer?
songwriter. No, not as a songwriter.
Overall?
I think he's a great songwriter. I don't know what this chick's... Sorry, not a chick. I don't know what this person is talking about with the lyrics, because I don't think his lyrics are ludicrous.
I think that's a pretty funny choice of words.
It's a great word.
It is. Ludicrous. Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, I don't think he's an overly great guitar player. He's not an overly great singer.
Oh, he's terrible. Well, we're not on me yet. Sorry. He's fucking hopeless as a singer. Jesus.
I think his songwriting is good. I don't think he's... I do think he's a little overrated, yes.
Okay, fair. I think as a songwriter, he's great. He writes some great songs.
Yes.
And again, Blinded by the Light is a perfect example of great song, but let somebody else do it, because that song by Manfred Mann is an awesome song, but Springsteen's version sucks.
I didn't even know he did it until you said it last time.
Right. He's a terrible singer.
Yes.
He's really, the guitar thing is just a prop. I'm sure you can't even hear him in the mix if they even turn him on.
I don't know.
Does he even plug in? Like, that's the other thing. I'd check out a show and see if they even plug his ass in, or if they do it as a placebo. Plug it in, but don't turn it up because the guy sucks.
When I hear somebody mention Springsteen, I immediately go to that crap Christmas song. I don't know why I keep going to Christmas songs.
Oh, God, yeah.
It sounds like he's taking a dump.
Because it's so annoying.
Like that.
It's going to town. Fuck you.
But now for Born in the USA, I think that kind of voice works.
See, but I fucking hate that, because that shit was on all the time.
It was.
When I was little, I was 12 years old. That's every fifth song was that song.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying I think that voice fits with the song. But I agree, it was way overplayed.
For sure. To me,
I think it still is, and people don't even know what it's about, and they're still playing it.
Exactly.
It ain't about what you think, people.
He's highly overrated, in my opinion. Again, excellent songwriter. Writing great songs isn't easy, or everyone would do it.
Exactly.
But otherwise, and I think he's a good performer.
I guess.
He's a great
I've ever seen him do stand there.
Well, yeah, but he's interactive with the crowd, and I don't know. But yeah, he's always been in my I can't stand that guy list. And it's not him, it's the whole band, the whole
E Street?
But I like the old I can't think of some of the names of the songs, but
Born to Run.
That's a great song.
Yes.
And it works. His voice works. But that's just one song. Like,
you know what? Now it's just I'm thinking about the Manfred Mann thing you were talking about, and the Ghost of Tom Joad.
Yeah, exactly.
He did that, and so did Rage Against the Machine.
Yes, they did. No, was it? Oh, it was Rage. I thought it may have been Audio Slave. But
no,
it's
it wasn't
Rage.
Audio Slave. I don't know if he wrote that song.
And it was and it was like a mainstream hit too, the
Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine thing, because that was played on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I some of the songs, I don't know, there might be 10 other songs out there that he wrote that someone else played and
This is my
made it
thing.
into.
This is my thing. Do you agree that
Tell me your thing.
John Cougar Mellencamp and him along the same lines musically? Not
Yeah,
identical,
but I think
along the same lines.
I
would
think
pick
Mellencamp is
I would pick
so
Mellencamp
much more.
100%.
Oh, same. Well, Mellencamp's more heartlandish.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe that's what it
you
is.
can tell he's from like working class America. I guess.
No,
I guess
I
you're
just think his
right.
songs are better to me. I don't know.
Hey, he's a better singer. He's an excellent guitar player. He's,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
Little Pink Houses? Come on,
he's
man.
underrated.
Oh, there you
I
go.
would
That's
think.
what we should do, an underrated list next.
He's underrated. I think he's in that camp.
All right.
I mean,
excellent.
he he got accolades and stuff, but they don't, when they talk about the great songwriters ever, you don't hear many people mention John Cougar Mellencamp, but
No. The Cougs.
his songs are great. They really are. Jack and Diane was like a
It's fantastic. Who
great
doesn't
song.
sing along to that song when it's on?
You can't help it, or you're not human.
Fun fact, I was watching it was a thing on Netflix. I think it was Hired Guns, about the studio musicians. I think it was that.
Yep.
And the drummer he had playing on that fill for that song, that bow, bow, chow, bow, 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 that one. And
Which song are we talking about?
the John Cougar Mellencamp song.
It's Kenny Aronoff
I think so.
plays the drums, and he just came up with that.
Yeah, he had from the time
I saw that.
John
yeah.
Cougar Mellencamp said, think of a fill till the time he got to the drums. So think of a fill. So he had like 15 seconds to think of that.
And it was perfect.
A little side note.
It was
there.
like the iconic air drum section.
Perfect.
It's like In the Air Tonight by Genesis.
Ultimate air. That's another one. Air drum songs. We should do that. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked again.
Write that down. Write it down. That's funny. All right, so some more just quick stuff about Bruce.
Okay.
So in the E Street band, there was a guy called Nils Lofgren who played guitar.
Oh, I didn't know he was with them.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know what albums he played on, but he did play on some of that. But the guy is from Bethesda.
Is he?
Yes. And when I was in high school, and I want to say it was Bill from Nothing Face, their bass player, went to high school with him, and I want to say his dad was friends with Nils Lofgren.
Oh, that's pretty
something like that.
Look at
that. So I don't know.
We got a Cougar connection. All right, Scott, get him on the show.
That's a Springsteen connection.
Oh,
but yeah.
Okay, sorry. We got to get Springsteen on the show. We can tell him.
So I just think his band is okay. They're good. They but they're nothing.
All right.
So
I'm saying 70% overrated.
Yeah, I'll go 85. The songwriting is really
songwriting saves them.
Yes.
Number 4.
A dud. Speaking of.
Anybody that knows me is going to know my answer on this one. Kiss. People say that they're a merchandise company with a band on the back burner. And the theatrics.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That is exactly what they are.
Stage presence does not match the mediocre music.
Oh, so I've never seen them live, and I never cared to.
I've seen them on TV and stuff.
I've always hated these guys. Yes. Actually, now that we mention it, so back in high school, I was in I had guitar class, and one class I had with Tim Salt from Clutch, and the other one I had Bill Gall from Nothing Faith. And when we played in this band, me and Bill played in a band called Scavenger in high school.
Okay.
Scavenger. And we really just formed it for the Battle of the Bands.
Okay.
So we got together probably like 6 times or whatever, and we got to play 3 songs. So we kind of let everyone pick a song, and we ended up playing Just Got Lucky by Dokken,
Okay.
Detroit Rock City by Kiss, and Stairway to Heaven.
Oh gosh.
Yes, and yours truly got to play all the leads and shit in Stairway to Heaven.
Good job.
But Corey, or CJ back then, he took the leads on the Kiss tune, and it was Detroit Rock City. So I had heard the song, and I remember him showing me the riff, and I remember going, "That's all that is." It's just 2 notes, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
And then they harmonize it, and then, but to me, I don't know why it sounded like so much more listening to it, but then learning how to play it, I was like, this is all that is. And I personally, I think Kiss, the quality of Kiss's music isn't there.
No.
It sucks. I think they're horrible.
Yes,
They're
I agree.
like a gimmick band.
Yeah, they're like gimmick. They're a commercial for all their crap that they sell.
It's, what did they say? What did that person say? They're
a.
I like it.
It was pretty good. They're a merchandise company with a band on the back burner.
Yes, exactly. It's like great. The opposite of the way it should be, right?
I mean, if you think about it, they've got. What do you think their 2 biggest songs are? Rock and Roll All Night.
Beth.
You think that's one of their biggest songs? Who sang that? Ace Frehley sang that one, didn't he?
Oh, I think it was Peter Criss.
Peter Criss,
the drummer.
And
good song, not my thing, but it sure as hell didn't. You wouldn't think Kiss.
Who sang on Detroit Rock City? Gene?
That's Paul.
That's
I
Paul.
believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Like God of Thunder, that's Gene.
That's Gene. Well, a lot of their songs, their singer doesn't even sing on.
Wait.
It's like Paul Stanley's.
Re-articulate that for me.
A lot of the songs that they do, it's like Gene or somebody else singing the songs. It's not even Paul Stanley who's their lead singer.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe, well, remember, they're like, 80.
Yeah,
so
but
I don't know
back in the 70s they were singing Rock and Roll All Night. That's Gene. He's all the way. And Beth, yeah, that is a pretty big song. Anyway, I agree 100% with what that person said. It's very mediocre music. It's like they just want to sell stuff. But on the flip side, they are hugely influential. A ton.
Stylistically, for sure. Like
a ton of people mention them as an influence.
Not musically, though.
They say influence. Dimebag, huge fan of Kiss.
Well, yeah, he was
Kurt
huge
Cobain,
into them, but I don't
fan
get
of Kiss,
that.
Which I wouldn't think. But yeah, Cobain, huge fan.
You wouldn't think that at all.
Well, a ton of people.
I know Dimebag did, but I think it was more the theatrics than the musicianship. Because if you listen to Dimebag play, he doesn't sound anything like Kiss.
No.
I mean, he's amazing. And they aren't. I hate to say it, but they're paid for their image. They make all their money off merch and shit. So.
Gene and Paul are genius at marketing.
Yes. absolutely, and they're like two of the richest people on earth because of it.
Yeah, well,
But
Gene has
yeah, no,
stupid
I
hair.
think they're highly over. If they didn't
Yes.
have the gene with the 10-inch,
Yeah.
tongue and spitting fire and shit, they wouldn't be anybody.
Their
Nobody would
stage
have
show.
ever heard of.
Their stage show in the 70s is what made them. Because
Yes,
nobody was
because
doing
it was
that back then.
second to none.
Yeah, nobody
Exactly.
was the fire and the
Well,
blood and all that crap.
like Alice Cooper was dabbling and shit, but
I also think
not
that's why he's famous, really.
correct. But I also think one of the two of them influenced each other hard. Maybe they influenced each other, but
Look,
someone came up with that idea first.
yeah. I wonder who was what. I don't remember know which one came out first.
Because
Probably
Alice
Cooper.
Cooper goes way back, but he wasn't. I don't think he was all blood and gore and shit until like the mid
I don't know.
'70s.
That's a good question. I do like
I'll
some of
have
his
to check.
songs, but now I
Some of
do like a
these,
couple Kiss songs. I like Detroit Rock City, and
I do kind of that one
that's
grew
it.
on me
That's
just
it. That's
because
the only
it's
song
different.
I like.
Same.
God of Thunder's not terrible, but
I was thinking that one too. I think.
I'm not gonna put it on. I think Beth is a turd. That song sucks.
What's one?
Oh, sorry. I'm
There's
trying not to say it sucks. Beth is not good.
It's not good for people who like rock music.
You're right.
But my mom, I could put it on for my mom. I'm sure
Really?
she thinks it's a beautiful song. It
Huh.
is a nice
I
song. It
guess.
just doesn't fit what you'd think Kiss would put out.
Well,
But it
Peter
made him
Criss can't sing
fuck
at
a
all.
ton of.
That's all
Well,
they care about. That's all they care about is money. That's it.
I mean,
I'm gonna say
me too, but I didn't. No, I don't. That's not all I care about.
everything Kiss stands for and is about. Yes, they are overrated 100%. Their influence,
I
no,
agree.
they're not overrated for
They're
their influence.
right because someone had to come up with all those ideas.
Yeah, and even if they ripped them off, they still influence people like Dimebag, who probably wouldn't have picked up a guitar if it wasn't for Ace Frehley.
Exactly.
So there you go.
And
We got
I
good
don't
music.
know. Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have Dimebag in there somewhere. And he
Yeah.
was a huge influence on me.
Yeah, Dime's the shit. Well, he was.
Love that guy. Rest in peace, brother.
5 days ago, and is the day he got shot in what 90, no, when was that? 98? No,
I was
Damn it.
like 01.
01 maybe. Yeah, maybe. But that was 5 days ago. Was the anniversary.
Wow.
R.I.P. Dimebag.
Ah, man, I remember seeing him at Victor Litz doing
Oh,
a
you
little.
told me about that. Yeah.
Oh my God. How amazing was it? We were like, dude, play the solo to, whatever. And he would just bust it out. And I'd be like, how the fuck do you do that?
He seemed
And
like
just-
such a cool guy, man.
He was such a fucking cool guy.
Every time I've seen anything with him doing anything, he just seems like an awesome dude to be around.
Yes. And then everyone who knew him would tell you. I
What a
mean,
shame.
he was cool to all the people who were trying to get his autograph and shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, man, I can only go so fast. And, and he had like a couple 6-pack tall boys.
Coors Light.
Of Coors
So that was
Light.
his beer.
Yep. And then, on his way out, he's carrying 3 of them on that's all that were left. And he was only there for an hour. Dude had 9 fucking Coors Lights in an hour.
It was like us
While
back
he
in the
was
day.
putting on a seminar and playing
Awesome.
the shit out of a guitar, man.
Fantastic. Loved him.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Dime.
So yes, overrated Kiss. Or
Yes.
Dimebag not overrated.
No, Dimebag's not overrated. All right,
All right,
coming in
let's
at number
move on to
3.
this next gem.
Is it a gem? Really? You think it's a gem? Because I think that number 3, The Grateful Dead, is probably should have been higher. I would put them at number 1, but I
don't know. They're not that. I mean,
Dude.
to me, they were just a fucking acid jam psychedelic band.
People earlier were talking about bands whose songs all sound the same.
Yeah, this is
Dude.
true.
Come on.
The only time the Dead's songs don't sound the same is when they're playing somebody else's tune.
Oh, I forgot to read the why people don't like it. You're gonna like
Yes,
this one.
please.
This is
Enlighten.
fantastic. All right. Grateful Dead is the pickleball of music. It's not really that good or creative, but upper middle class white people will tell you it's the best thing on the planet.
Okay. Well,
And here's another one. The second comment
odd
also
analogy.
fantastic. I feel like a lot of people force themselves to like the Grateful Dead because all the art and merch surrounding them has one of the cooler psychedelic aesthetics.
I mean,
I do like that someone
tie-dye
said
shirts and shit.
they're the
you know.
pickleball of music. That's
Yeah, that's an odd analogy, man.
that's fantastic. But sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, that's all right, man. Go ahead.
All right.
Tell me what you think about
I think
these guys.
Grateful Dead. What do they have? Two hit songs that I know of. Casey Jones and Touch of Grey.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That one's a newer one. The
Well,
the
like
90s
1990,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, not the 70s one.
I think they're 100% overrated. I don't have anything really to say about them because I think everything is overrated with them. And people only listen to them because it's on when they're at a friend's house in college smoking weed or tripping.
Yeah. They started the whole jam band culture.
Yeah, not a big jam band guy. Well, I'm not even a big jam band guy because I don't like it.
I mean, a jam band is just that, and God, can that get old to listen to?
Yeah,
After
I don't want to listen to the
you
same
know?
thing for 4.5 hours.
No, or even 14 minutes, unless it's moving around. But a lot of these bands play those two chords and play the hell out of them, or play an intricate chord progression over and over and over and over and
Yeah.
over. To me, that's just not. I like to get your point across, and even belabor the point a little bit if you want. But Jesus Christ,
I can tell you,
move on.
I work at a college, and I think within the next generation, the Grateful Dead will disappear because kids in college do not listen to them.
Not
They
even
don't.
when they're tripping or
No, they don't. I never, ever hear Grateful Dead being played in the dorms or the frats or sororities at all.
I never really understood the correlation between their music and tripping balls either.
Probably because they came from that whole Haight-Ashbury thing.
Right. But it's not like their music. To me, old early Pink Floyd is much more psychedelic than anything the Dead's ever done.
Yeah, if I want to see shit, I'd much rather listen to Floyd than
Grateful
Dead drone on about whatever patchouli.
Well, again, too, the Dead is kind of fit into the Kiss category in my eyes. As far as it's like a culture, or people like the merchandise, but they don't really I've been to a couple Dead shows, and I didn't even bother going in. I just stayed out in the parking lot. Yeah, because it was more fun in the parking lot anyway. I could hear people, and people were
you went to Grateful Dead
doing
shows.
nitrous and fucking trying to give you tabs of acid and shit. And yeah, I've been to a couple Dead shows, but
if that's your scene, awesome. I think they're 100% overrated.
People were great, except for the guys that were trying to rip you off or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I've never met a Deadhead that's a douchebag. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I've met a couple that were douchebags, but they weren't harmful.
Yeah, I mean,
they were harmless.
All the ones I've ever met have been, nice people, and they just like bad music.
Yeah, or honestly, I think it's almost like there's a lot going on in their music, but none of it is abrupt.
And none of it's interesting to me at all.
That's what I mean. It all seems it's one dynamic or things drop off from that, but there's not a whole lot of emotion or
Yeah.
like strong intro and then dynamic. I don't know. It's just it's a jam band. They pick a key and they fuck the notes to death until they pick another key, and then they do that, and it's the same pentatonic scale moved up 5 frets or whatever. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It's
gotcha.
not. There's nothing innovative going on. It's just let's see what happens. Oh, well, that's
And
cool,
I've
but I
never
don't
heard
understand the
anybody
line.
ever say that anybody or the band is an influence to them musically.
I've heard a lot of people say they love Jerry Garcia, but I've never
Yeah,
heard anybody say,
that
yeah,
he's
he
an
taught me
influence.
how to play guitar, or I learned his lines, and that's what I know. No, I agree.
Yeah,
Their musician, the quality of music isn't bad. It's just there's
no,
not a
it's not
lot of
bad. It's
chances
just
taking place.
I
Nobody's
think they're
taking chances.
I think they're overrated because I think they're only rated in anything is because people still follow them around and
When they associate them with LSD.
yeah, and
At least the older people tend to.
well, like I said,
Deadhead,
I think this generation, or my generation, because I don't know, maybe yours too, is really the last generation that's going to listen to them because, like I said, nobody at the college I work at listens to them.
I'm sure. I mean, really, the
There's
only way
some
they're going to
probably,
get
but
passed on is by Father Deadhead passing along his
yeah.
deadhead
I mean, think
ways to
about it.
his
They don't play
kids.
it. They don't play them on the radio.
Nope,
They
not
don't.
regularly.
The
Yeah,
kids now,
they're
they're not
just
going to hear it except from their parents who are going to not.
they're going to die
They're going to die
soon, and
off, and then
then
the kids
yeah,
now probably won't like it
huh?
because of what they listen to, and then after that, done, man.
Well, it'll be around though because of the whole psychedelic thing.
Yeah,
You
it'll
know,
be around some.
tie dyes, Grateful Dead T-shirt, the tapes, like
Uh,
Deadheads collect all the shows on
they
tape
do, but
and
eventually they're all going to be
trade them.
gone,
I
and
don't know. Do you think that
they'll
really?
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, when I when I went to college, believe it or not, I went sometimes. Um, there was a lot of people that listened to that. Like when you were just hanging out, they would listen to that and that other turd band Fish.
Ugh.
And they would
Yeah.
listen to that stuff and like smoke weed and shit. But
Widespread panic. That's another one.
all that all that jam bandy crap and Dave Matthews
Yep.
because that was big.
Dave
Then.
Matthews. I
But
love Dave Matthews, man, but I
I think
couldn't
he's
go
going to be the
watch him
next.
jam for 4 hours.
And Zach Brown. Mark my words. Zach Brown and Dave Matthews are
Uh-huh.
going to be the next Grateful Dead.
I believe. That's funny.
Almost
Hey,
fell.
different camera.
No, I just almost fell.
Oh, damn! It's too bad that you didn't go all the way.
That would have been good. That would have been good.
Would have been
All
a
right,
good little short to pull.
that's enough
from.
tearing them up.
Yeah, they got a new asshole now, so we should probably move
all right.
on. It's a little bloody over here.
Before I say what band this is,
This
because
is
I'm sure people.
unfucking believable. Go ahead.
When you
What
have a
the
band of this
fuck?
high notoriety, you have haters. The
Oh
Beatles
my
are.
God.
Well, I just said it. Damn it. The Beatles, number 2, are the most notorious band ever to exist, and their music still speaks to society today. But they do have naysayers, and anti-Beatles fans claim their discography is repetitive and shallow. I say they're 100% wrong, and the Beatles are not overrated because they basically paved the way for every band now.
You can't. There's no way you can say their discography is shallow.
No,
That's the funniest thing I've ever fucking heard.
that's clown shoes, is what that is.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, what they
You
did
would
all
put
that.
their name to that statement. Holy
Every
Christ.
single thing they did, they accomplished before they were like 27 or something like that.
Yeah, and they did it before any other bands did it
Yeah.
too.
I mean, come on, man. What was this person's name? shithead Magoo, whatever your name is, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong, dude. Maybe you better pick a different. Hopefully, they're not getting paid.
I'm not even a huge Beatles fan, but god damn it, man, come on.
You don't have to be, and I never really was until more recently in my life.
No.
When I was younger, I didn't like them because I heard them my whole life. They were just a staple. It wasn't. I didn't think about them much. But now I realize, holy shit. Go ahead.
I was talking to one of my friends about this, and you know her, but she doesn't want me to say her name, so I'm not.
I'll figure it out.
You probably already have. But I was talking to her about this Beatles thing, and she said the songs on the individual albums may sound the same, but none of the albums sound the same.
But even on the same albums, many of the songs don't sound the same.
No, they don't. I mean, that's kind of what she was saying. There might be songs that sound the same on the same album.
I see. But no, there's a huge difference between Rubber Soul and Abbey Road, and the White Album, and holy shit, Sgt. Pepper's. So, they put out some of the. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the Beatles are the single most influential rock band that ever existed.
The only other person you could put up there would be Elvis.
But you can't because he sucked compared to them. He didn't write his own.
Influence-wise. Influence-wise.
Oh, okay. But I mean,
there was Elvis who ushered in rock and roll.
I suppose, yeah.
Because he was taking R&B and rocking it up a little bit. But yes, the Beatles, they are the most. They have to be the most influential band ever.
Yes, they are. I mean, who did it before them? Nobody.
No one.
And if you took their catalog and listened to it from the first song they ever recorded to the last song they ever recorded, it all sounds like the Beatles, but it all sounds different.
Yes, and they were all phenomenal musicians.
Yes.
And
I don't even know how they got that good. They were phenomenal.
Did you watch that Get Back thing?
I've seen parts of it.
God,
is that where they're playing on the roof?
It ended up with that.
That's Let It Be.
No, this was something where they're just in the studio and they were doing that album. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude! Hey Jude.
Did they have Billy, the dude on the keyboards, the black guy?
Yes.
Billy.
Yeah, he was getting it.
Billy. What the hell is his name?
I don't remember. I saw it a while ago. You should check it out. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's pretty cool. It's just like them hanging out in the studio, coming up with songs on the fly.
And they're talking just about I'm trying to play this part 3 times, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds like shit." I've seen.
Yeah, they're previews. McCartney's just sitting at a piano da 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 da, and just comes up with "Let It Be" out of the blue.
Here's a song. Exactly.
What the god damn it, man! So no, they're not overrated ever. They'll never be overrated. Even though I'm not a huge fan, they're not overrated. They are the reason that music, any kind of rock music, came. I mean, they influenced everybody and their mother.
Yeah, no, they are number one most influential, and to me, probably one of the least overrated bands because
I don't even know how you could overrate them.
Right, they deserve any and every accolade they ever got because they did everything first. Not everything, but most everything.
They did a lot,
and Paul McCartney and Wings.
Paul McCartney and John Lennon. That's another one.
Jesus Christ.
Paul McCartney and John Lennon are probably the two best songwriting pair ever.
Yeah. Well, and then you got George Harrison, who just didn't get his songs recorded because
you got Lennon and
he
McCartney.
Had to fight with Lennon and McCartney. Exactly. So But they could have been just as good with just George's songs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, the talent in that band is insane. Even Ringo, who gets shit on, is still a good drummer, which I'm learning because I'm trying to learn how to play drums, and Ringo is very underrated.
He's very himself. He's got his own groove.
Yeah,
his own swing. Look at this lighting. Ooh.
It's very horror movie-esque.
But
right.
Yeah, so now we got our point across on that one. The Beatles are fucking awesome, whether you think they are or not.
Now this one,
Jesus
number one.
Christ.
When this guy emerged on the hip-hop scene, he meshed rap and rock for a new sound, which wasn't new, and got famous, and then he switched to a hoedown country rock style, and that's why people don't like him. And this person is Kid Rock.
Yep.
Number one, most overrated. I don't know how you can be overrated when you're not even rated. I don't know how you can be overrated.
Well, yeah. Well, I think it's the whole point is why does anybody know Kid Rock's name?
Now, I will say that first song he came out with was catchy.
Uh-huh.
And it blew up. And for about 3.5 minutes, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. But no, he did not invent rap rock.
No, not at all. He didn't even,
no.
It's been around forever.
Anthrax and Public Enemy were doing that. The whole Judgment Night soundtrack.
Aerosmith and Run DMC.
Yeah, Walk This Way. The Judgment Night soundtrack, that's all it was, and that was like 1990 or something like that.
Right. Yeah, no, it wasn't Bob, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, I listened to that about 3 times.
Bob White.
Is that his name? I know it's Richie something.
It's Bob Ritchie. That's his name.
So yeah, he's
Robert Ritchie. Throbert.
He's 100% overrated.
Sucks, man. I fucking hate that guy. He's just like he's like that pimple on your ass that you keep popping and it keeps coming back. And you just squeeze it because you just want it to get the fuck away from you. That's kind of how I feel about this guy.
Such a douchebag, too.
Yeah. He's full of himself, and there's no reason why he should be.
Did you see that video he put out with this whole Bud Light thing where he was shooting all the cans and he had a fully automatic gun?
No, but I've heard that
he had a fully automatic AR or something, and he's shooting it, a 30-pack, and he missed with like 90% of the clip. I mean, come on, and he's a douchebag.
Because you can't shoot an AR fully automatic and be accurate unless you've got it on a stand or something.
He can't shoot anything and be accurate, apparently.
Right. Well, people get the wrong idea about guns and they think you can just spray up shit. But if you try it, you ain't going to hit anything. You're going to spray over everything.
I mean,
it's called recoil.
Kid Rock is such a clown.
He's an idiot.
Everything about him, he's so fake. He's not anything what he
exactly
is.
He's a upper middle class, if not affluent, rich kid
who acts like some trailer
Detroit.
Trash.
Exactly, and he's not from the trailer. He's not poor. He wasn't ghetto. He wasn't slinging rock back in the day. He wasn't killing people for his homies. He's nobody, dude. He made up a persona. You know who he reminds me of? Fred Durst from the Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit.
Because that guy, same thing.
See, Fred Durst is a douchebag, and he knows it, and he doesn't pretend not to be.
Well, that's what I think Kid Rock is.
I don't think Kid Rock thinks he's a douche.
I think he does. I think he's doing it on purpose. It's called give me any kind of attention, and I'll be on your mind, and that's going to make me some money. But if I'm all quiet, it's the kid back in the day that would act up in class, get sent to the principal.
His fans dictate
just because they wanted some kind of attention.
His fans dictate what he is.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't
not
do what
genuine.
he's not.
Doing it for the money. He's
He
doing
is.
it for the money and the fame, and
He
that's
is.
it. He's a narcissist, and he's not. I don't think he has any talent at all.
No.
He might
I mean,
be able to strum a guitar, but I can do that too.
his
You
best
know, I don't.
song was with Sheryl Crow, and she was way better in that song than he was.
She probably wrote the song. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough of his stuff because I heard enough of his stuff.
I don't want to hear anymore.
Right. I don't need to dig any deeper into that.
If you would have said he's not overrated, I would have just, all right, and we're done. And just
yeah, you would have been like, dude, fuck, I can't be your friend anymore. I guess this is it, brother.
I thought I knew you.
It's going to be Chris.
And that's the end of the series.
It's going to be Chris talking about bands on his own from now on.
It's going to be me and that
Chris and
the drum set over there because it knows more than Scott. If you had said that,
nah, come on, you knew, you had to know.
I figured you would not say that he was good, or
I always like put. So who would you put in here? Like, is there somebody stands out for you that belongs on the list?
That is overrated?
Yes.
Well, my two most overrated people are already on it: Kiss and Kid Rock.
Okay. Well,
I would say.
Good point.
Well, I guess they don't have to be popular anymore, do they?
No, I think they would just have to have been popular at one point. I mean, there's a lot of this shit from. Oh my God, yeah, because they were. I mean, it was just bad because
it was the new version of cock rock.
Okay.
It was like hair new metal kind. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to describe it. It was like
hair new metal. Yeah, it was a different kind of. It was. It
was like
at some points it almost seemed like a parody of itself.
It was like
I don't know. Yeah, $3 bill, y'all.
That was terrible. They had a couple songs that I liked. I'm not gonna lie. Guilty pleasure. I like that break stuff song because it's fucking angry and awesome.
And you like that. Exactly. That I can understand. They sucked the
But other than that, yeah. That's what it is. They went to the primal urges of dudes. That's what it is.
Just to be dumb and fucking jump around and throw things.
And be an idiot, and break stuff, and drink beer, and be a moron. That's why they're famous. So, yeah, I would say they're overrated. Is there anybody else I would say is overrated?
I mean, for me, I always thought Bob Dylan was highly overrated, especially as a musician.
Yeah.
His songs, I don't know, he wrote a couple of good songs, but fuck, I know bands that wrote 70 good songs.
Yeah.
Great songs.
Let's see. Yeah, I would say he was a good songwriter. Like the songs he wrote.
It's like poetry.
Yeah.
Like kind of like Rage Against the Machine before Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
And he wasn't as direct about it. He beat around the bush with his words, which is cool. I mean,
as much as I love the band, I think Nirvana was overrated.
Oh, for sure. I mean, to me, I
love Nirvana.
Agree. I do, and again, it's not everything doesn't always have to be about some dude blowing scales and shit.
No.
It's about what it makes you feel.
Yes.
Music is exactly that. And that, the older I get, the more important that is to me. If it makes me feel something, I don't really care what you think. If I listen to, okay, here, I'll throw one out there. One of my favorite songs ever is Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
It's a good song.
It's not even. I can't even hear guitar in it.
No,
You know what
it's
I'm
like
saying?
orchestral.
So it's not my kind of thing. But
It's a great
it's
song.
like, and yeah, I mean, it's good. It was good on long trips. I took a CD the last time I went to see my dad. Drove down to Florida. We took a couple CDs with a bunch of MP3s on them, and one of them was nothing but a guilty pleasure CD, and it was
Awesome.
fucking awesome, dude. I drove like 10 hours on that, listening to shit that I don't want you to know that I'm listening to.
Oh, you will, because that's what we should do next. Our guilty pleasures. You're gonna clown the shit out of me.
Hey man, we'll get each other, dude. I mean,
Let's do that.
for me, one of my
Next.
other is we'll wait for most of them, but
You wuss.
dude, Afternoon Delight, dude.
You
What a
do
great!
like that song. Oh my god, you like that song.
I love the harmony. The vocal harmonies are they get me.
I liked it in
I
Anchorman.
do. Yeah, exactly. Every time I see that movie anywhere, you're the first thing I think of.
God,
I
that
think
one
of
night,
the
man.
time we watched that. Yeah, we were having some beers and shit, and we watched that.
God, like
And
that
we
one
were
photo
like,
is-
then we rewound it over and over and over again, and then we were both on the floor. I was like in a pool of tears, man.
so awesome.
It was the funniest thing ever.
Well, before we get too sidetracked on a tangent, we should probably wrap this one up. Let us know in the comments what you guys think, how wrong we were, how right we were, what you think.
I've got a dare for our viewers. I fucking dare you to put a comment in one of our videos. That's all.
he triple dog dared you. You have to do it.
A triple dog dare you. I don't think you'll do it.
Yes, comment and subscribe, and we will see y'all next time.
Thank you for your time.
Look at that little clappy guy.